Welcome back to my channel. I'm Surabi, and today I don't have my headphones on, so you know what that means? That means, yes indeed, today is manga content day. So this is gonna be a manga haul video. Guess it's like the first one of the year. Mind you, I have been accumulating this since like end of December-ish of 2025, and it's 2026. Happy New Year! So it's here and there. So it's like around, I think, 60-ish volumes. So there's a lot going on. Also, this might be a two-parter-ish video where I show the manga off and then I update my tracker, because if I don't do that, I'm gonna start buying duplicates again because I literally have no self-control, and then when I get to the store I suddenly have amnesia, and then everything I've ever purchased in my entire life is just left my brain, and then I come home with duplicates and now I look like a dumbass showing up at the customer service desk saying I need to return things. Anyways, so this might be a two-parter where manga show off and then I update my tracker. So I am excited to show you how I do that. But yeah, I did a lot of damage. I think last time I did a manga haul was kind of all over the place, so I think I'm gonna go by publisher and sort of go down that line, and then yeah, c'est la vie. That's how we're gonna do things today. So with that being said, I'm excited, you're excited, let's get into this video. All right, so I am gonna start off with saying a smaller publisher is not the right way to say it, but it's technically the least amount of volumes that I bought from the publisher, if that makes sense. Yeah, like 1 or 2 or 3 volumes, less than 5 volumes per these publishers. So anyways, first we have 7 billion needles. Now I think this is me venturing outside of my comfort zone. This is more of a sci-fi-ish story. I am not a sci-fi girly. I am not. I'm very rigid. I like my shonen and I like my seinen, but this is sci-fi. So, well, I guess this could be either. Why did I even say it like that? Anyways, I tend to just like battle shonen. That's the way. I tend to like battle shonen, and I tend to like violent stories. That says a lot about me. Anyways, this story, this is just volume 1 that I have, and this is from Vertical. I don't really know anything about this story. I purely picked it up based on the look. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes I have two extremes. I either pick based on the cover, or I do so much research into the series that I'm picking up. But this was an impulse buy. Basically, this is a story about, I guess, I'm assuming this girl right here. She's just like a regular girl. She's bored. She's just sort of living her life. And she essentially gets possessed. Possessed is not the right word, right? She gets possessed by an alien. Like, you know, think, oh my god, what is his name? Fuck! What is his name? Oh my god, the symbiote. God damn. Anyways, think, fuck, what is his name? What is his name? I'm gonna see it. I'm thoroughly disappointed in myself. Venom. Think Venom, right? So this symbiote takes over her body and is basically on the hunt for a intergalactic murderer. So that is the story of this one. Not sure how I'm gonna like this. I only bought the first volume because that's all they had, but I'm gonna see if I like this or not. If not, it's going right back where I found it. Next up is a one-shot by Satoshi Kon, Tropic of the Sea. I was trying to get into my one-shot moments with these. It's giving a little bit of fantasy. I'm not really sure. I'm kind of excited. I have his other one-shot and I just never read it. but this is a year of me doing better with my manga reading, so this is where we're at. So basically this story is of a family. I'm assuming this boy's family. They have this tradition of receiving an egg from a mermaid, and they put it in the shrine, and they go and, you know, take care of the egg, and once it hatches, it goes back into the sea, and then there's this cycle. And basically the merfolk, the mermaid people, they grant this coastal village or this coastal town that this boy and his family live in with like abundance. And then what is happening, I guess, in the story is that there is some commercial developers coming in and trying to, like, you know, do what they do. And there's some kind of conflict. That's as far as I got in the synopsis of this story. I read Mermaid and I was like, Mermaid Saga, and that was immediately the reason why I bought this. I bought this not knowing a single thing, as I buy a lot of shit, but it's okay. We're gonna learn to love and enjoy this story. So this is the next one from Vertical. Up next is Samurai Deeper Kyo. This is on the long journey of me trying to finish this series. I highly doubt I will, because it's out of print, and it's Tokyo Pop, old Tokyo Pop. So it's out of print. I don't know if I'll ever finish this series, but you know what? I might come real close, because once in a while at my local comic book shop, they have a volume or 2 or 3 of the series, so I pick them up when I can. So I'm excited. This is basically like another possession story, if I'm remembering correctly. The plot is escaping me, but I am excited to one day maybe just read the story online and pray that I finish my actual part in the series. So I'm excited. Don't know when I'll read it, but I'm excited. Up next, from Kodancha, I believe. I may have shot myself in the foot by collecting it this way, because I don't see this edition out a lot in the wild. And I don't know if I feel like this got a reprint. Anyways, this is the hardcover version of Sayuki. From what I know about this, I don't know anything about the series. I picked it up simply because the cover, and it's a hardcover, so I was like, yep, you're coming home for me. Not coming home for me, you're coming home with me. And it was a steal at $12. So sometimes I just pick things up because it's easy pickings, if that makes sense. It's such a cheap deal that I just couldn't pass up on it. But basically, I think this story is basically loosed on the Journey to the West story. So kind of similar, not similar to Dragon Ball, but the origins are similar. So I don't know, I'm interested to see it. The fact that he has like this little pistol thing, it's giving, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's an older series. It's giving early 2000s, and I love me some early 2000s vintage-ish looking manga, so I'm excited. I hope I can find more of these somewhere, maybe on, I don't know where. I might have to dig deep for these ones, but I will have to find my way to get these ones. I'm pretty sure this got a reprint. I'm pretty sure, but I could be gaslighting myself. I don't know, but anyways, yeah. So I'm excited to get into this series. Hopefully, maybe starting it this year. I don't know if I get the first 3 volumes. I will do my best and try and get to where I need to get with this series, but no promises. Next up is Manhole. Now, this one was one that I read. I think this is from a small publisher. It says Kanna, but I don't know if that's the actual publisher. But this is a 3-volume series that I did read. Not gonna lie. But it's a very interesting and surreal story, especially because of the 2020 pandemic. So if that really scarred you, I don't know if this is a series for you, but this is such a sad story. Basically, these people with very destroyed looking bodies start coming out from the sewers, and there is this police unit that is tasked with figuring out like why this is happening. But it's not like a lot of people, it's like a few people here and there. And basically what ends up happening is that there's this guy who I don't remember if he's a scientist or not, but he was trying to basically come up with a way to domesticate society in a way where there's no violence, there's no assault, there's no nothing happening. So everybody is just sort of happy and just existing. But essentially not like in essence almost losing their free will to sort of like be bad, if that makes sense. But what ends up happening is that the guy, he goes and he visits this tribe in Africa that has succeeded in nulling violence essentially, and he finds out that it's by this parasite. And then he comes back and he starts experimenting with people, but he's experimenting with the people who have wronged him in a way. So it's a very, very depressing story. If you were scarred by the pandemic, this might not be for you. Yeah, read with caution. Read with caution. It is a very surreal story to me because of what happened. But it is also like it's depressing. I think I just enjoy being depressed is what it is. But yeah, it's like complete at 3 volumes. I don't know if this is considered a horror manga, but there's definitely a lot of body horror in here. So, proceed with caution. Proceed with caution. If that's what you're into, then I recommend. But if not, proceed with absolute caution. Next up is Arabana. Arabana. Now, this one, read the first volume. This is also going to be a 3-volume series. It's like depressing as fuck. Depressing. This girl, her best friend, ends up, and nobody knows why, and she ends up confessing to the murder. And essentially it's like the mystery of what happened. I think that's what I got from this first volume. I am not sure. I'm not entirely sure, but it did captivate me in that first volume. It is very sad. It is very, very depressing. So take this with a grain of salt. It's giving mixed mystery, it's giving thriller, it's giving psychological thriller. So this is up my alley, because why not? Because I'm insane. But I really am interested to see where this goes, because this is only a 3-volume series. So to set up a mystery at the beginning of this 1 volume and not really delve that deep into it towards the end of this, I don't know how this is gonna go. And I am just interested to see what this author is gonna do. I'm not sure if this is the debut manga for this author, but it's interesting so far. So I'm excited to see where this goes. I think this is gonna finish in 2026, so we'll see. I think actually it might just be done, and I'm just waiting for the physical copies. Don't quote me. Next up from Square Enix is Assassin and Cinderella. This is also, whoa, focus please. All right, we're not focusing. We don't focus. It's okay. This is also me stepping out of my comfort zone. These are romancy, not too spicy manga, but it is romancy and it's fun so far. I read the 2 volumes. I'm not sure how long the series is. I want to say less than 7 volumes, but this is really cutesy so far. And basically the story is this girl is an assassin. She's an assassin, but her specialty is seduction. And what happens is this guy becomes her mark. They get together and now they're like getting married. And what ends up happening is that he finds out that she's an assassin. Now, she's blown her cover, but he still wants to be with her. He still wants to be with her. And he is so cute to her. I think he has cuteness aggression with her. And it's just so cute to watch to read. And like the first 2 volumes were very cutesy. There is a little bit of like, scenes. So if that's up your alley, then and you don't really want maybe too explicit, this might be for you. It's very cute. It's very cute so far. There is sort of like, I want to say mystery going on, because this girl, the organization that she works for, is technically his old organization. So there's that whole mystery of like why they want to take him out. So I'm excited to see where this goes. I think this is less than 7 volumes, but I'm excited. I'm hoping to see, maybe I'll just read it online. I don't know. But I do like my physical copies because I enjoy tabbing them. So I don't know what I'm going to do, but I am excited to finish off this series. So yes. Next up from Love Love. I think this is a Tokyo Pop. I could be wrong. I think this is like a, not the, you know how like Shonen Jump has shoujo beats. This might be Tokyo Pop's version. I don't remember. I could be wrong. Anyways, that's besides the point. This is my new wife's fake smile. This was one that I knew about, I think like 2021, 2022. It was like a few years ago when I learned about this series. And my initial pull to the series was the fact that it was a samurai set in Edo period, Japan. And it was a romance. And again, I'm trying to step out of my comfort zone. Just crazy to say because I absolutely love romance novels. There's just something about romance manga that I just can't get behind. But anyways, so this is me yet again stepping out of my comfort zone. I had initially read the first chapter when I first heard about this series. And at that time, I think it was less than 10 chapters. And then I am not gonna lie, I disappeared from the world. So I don't know what happened there. But basically, this is a romance story set in Edo period Japan. This man is a samurai. He is the second born of some, maybe not a noble family, but a well-known family. And this is his new wife. It's an arranged marriage. And he just wants this woman to love him. He just wants her to love him. And she is just walking around the house, doing her due diligence, being the good wife that she's supposed to be, according to customs at the time. But he looks at her and she just looks miserable. Like she's forcing a smile. And that's like, the title says, my fake smile. And he just wants to do everything and anything to make her happy, to be with him. He wants her to know. He wants her to feel that he deserves her, essentially. And what ends up happening is that this is hold. This is miscommunication done in a very cute way. This is a miscommunication trope that I am okay with. I goddamn hate the miscommunication trope. But this is basically, she's trying really hard not to overbear him with her love. And that's basically why she keeps being timid around him. And it's so cute. I don't know what's the story beyond that. I'm excited, low key, because that first chapter was good. I'm not gonna lie. From what I remember, it was good, and I really want to get into this. So, miscommunication trope done correctly. That might not be the most accurate way to explain this, but that's how my mind has decided to categorize it. So, I'm okay with that. I am a-okay with that. Next up from 7 Seas. There's a few 7 Seas ones up next. Or I think, yeah. Is Die Dark. Now, I'm gonna be honest. I hear people talk a lot about this series. Maybe not as much as Dorohedoro, but I hear a lot of people recommend this as well. I don't know not a single thing about this series. I picked it up because, again, stepping out of my comfort zone, it's giving a little bit more like sci-fi, post-apocalyptic-y. I'm excited. I don't really know what it's about. I think, yeah, my mind is not comprehending the synopsis at this moment. So I'm excited to get into this. This is a very short series. I think it's 9 volumes or 8 volumes max. And I'm excited either way. So Die Dark. I do want to get into Dorohedoro, but something is always stopping me from getting into Dorohedoro, and I don't know why. I don't know why. It's not that nobody recommends the series. I have an issue, is what it is. I just have a major issue, and I just don't know how to deal with myself sometimes. You know what I mean? I'm just a chaotic person. All right. Next up is volume 5. Please focus. It's okay. It's fine. And volume 4. of fire in his fingertips. Now, this is a spicier manga. If that is not your shtick, it's okay. It's totally fine. But it is for me. This is good. This is good. Basically, this is just the story of these two, I believe, from my understanding, not gonna lie, because the retention in this plot is kind of very loose. Basically, these are maybe childhood friends, and they grew up together, but then, you know, going into, I guess, like teenage years, into adulthood, they kind of just sort of, you know, went their separate ways, and then they end up living together as adults. Not living together, but living next door to each other as adults, and he has always been in love with her. He's not the best at expressing this, mind you. This is not a healthy relationship in here. It's not the healthiest of relationship, because he's very overbearing, but he is always been in love with her, and he just doesn't know how to say it. But in the series, they are together. Technically, I think like after volume 3, they get together. Volume 3, volume 2. At some point, they're like boyfriend, girlfriend. And it's just basically their life, you know, her working as part of this company. Don't remember what they do. He is a firefighter, and it's just basically like, it's a slice of life, you know? It's very episodic. So there's also this love triangle situation going on with one of her coworkers, and he is not having it. That man is not having it. You are not taking his girl from him. That's all I can say. But I've been enjoying it so far. It's been a few years. There was a long hiatus for the series at some point, and I don't know why, but there was a long ass hiatus for the series. But I think it's ending at like 12 volumes or something like that, or 15 volumes, something like that. But love this series. Love it so much. I love it for the plot. You know what I mean? For the plot. Up next is Guilty Smile. Now. If you like your spicy manga, this is for you. Let's be friends. Can't really show you any of the things inside, because I don't want to cross that bridge. But this is a very good series. It's a good series. It's complete at 3 volumes. It's also very sad. I really loved it. It doesn't have a plot twist at the end, but you definitely feel differently than you do at the beginning of the series. So you have a drastically different feeling about what happens at the end, or at least I did. So if you didn't, forget what I said. But anyways, this is Guilty Smile. Basically, oh my god, what is his name? Yeah, okay. So basically the story is this girl right here. She has a twin sister. Her name is Layla. Her twin sister's name is Malaika, and his name is Khalifa. And basically, this Malaika and Layla are they're princesses from a kingdom, and Khalifa is a prince from another rival kingdom. And what ends up happening is Malaika, her father, take hostage of Khalifa, and basically they abuse the ever-loving daylights out of this boy. And in Malaika and Layla's kingdom, there is a tale, or this like I don't know, lore about twins being born, maybe not to the royal family, but twins being born. And basically Layla is seen as a devil child, right? So what happens is Malaika gets to live her life as the legitimate heir of the kingdom, and nobody knows that Layla exists. So basically what happens is, as Khalifa is in prison in Malaika and Layla's kingdom, she starts to, like, you know, she, as in Layla, is going to start visiting Khalifa and bringing him food and bringing him books, and they fall in love. Now, he doesn't really know who she is. He doesn't know that she is the twin sister of the person who's abusing him. So what ends up happening is that they cook up this scheme to escape together. And what ends up happening is that Malaika learns about it, and then she takes on the persona of her sister, and she like foils the plan. And what ends up happening is that this is sort of like when they're younger, this happens. And then later on in life, Khalifa becomes a vicious, maybe not a warlord, but he becomes this vicious sort of person who is like vying for revenge against Malaika, because he thinks that the person who was helping him was Malaika. He doesn't know that there was a twin sister. So he is wanting to take revenge on Malaika. So he goes and does a coup in her kingdom and takes her entire kingdom down, and he now becomes the king of the kingdom. And so he finds Layla, and Layla says that she is Malaika. So she is taking on the persona of her sister to protect her, and he starts abusing her. I'm not even gonna hold you. Starts abusing her, and he's trying to take revenge out on her for being his abuser. And then somewhere in the back of his mind, he's like, well, maybe, because she starts exhibiting the traits of the person that he knew as a younger guy. And so he's like, well, maybe this is Layla, because maybe Layla and Malaika were twins or something like that. So the story pans out to a happily ever after, but it is very sad how it gets there. So if you're okay with that, this series is for you. But it's a beautiful but sad ending, but I don't condone abuse in relationships. So next up is Hold Back Lord Hades. I'm pretty sure this is just a Persephone and Hades retelling. So far I'm enjoying myself. I know volume 2 and I think volume 3 is coming out. I'm enjoying myself. This is also another spicy manga, so if that's not your shtick, it's totally fine. You can keep it pushing. But if you like the story of Hades and Persephone, you're gonna really like this. And I am a sucker for a Hades and Persephone retelling. So the moment I heard about this, best believe I was gonna buy it. Next up is I Can't Refuse S. I didn't really fully read this one. I might have to go back and read it. This might be my one and only volume. I wasn't fully invested in the story. But from what I remember of this story is that this girl gets married off into this family, and she's never had sexy fun time. Right? And basically the butler of this family enlists himself in helping her learn about sexy fun time. So I don't know. Maybe I'll pick up the second volume. Maybe I'll give it the good old 3-volume try, but I'm not sure. As of right now, I don't know. I'm not feeling the vibe. So we'll see. Stay tuned. Up next is Outbride. Beauty and the Beast. Now, I bought this series a very, very long time ago. This might warrant me to reread it. I don't really remember what the series is about, but I think vaguely this is a isekai. Like, I think she gets reincarnated into this Otome game, and she has a plethora of very attractive men just vying for her attention. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is a world where there's not that many women in there. That's usually what these types of stories are. Again, this is also a spicy one, so if that's not your shtick, that's totally fine. Keep it pushing. But this, I'm pretty sure, that's a lot of the times when it's an isekai in a spicy manga, it's like the other sex doesn't exist in that world, and I think that's what's happening here. But anyway, they're all princes. Must be nice. They're all princes, and they're vying for her attention. They want to have a baby with her. They need to, if that's what I remember. Maybe I'm like confusing maybe 13 different other plots together. I don't know, but I need to come back to this. I don't know how long this series is. I'm not gonna lie. This may be one I might drop and just continue on online. But if this is under 20 volumes, I might just persevere and get all of them. But I don't know. I think this is gonna be less than 20. I'm hoping. I'm praying. We'll see. Up next is Game Between the Suits. This is also another spicy manga. Love this one. This is complete at 5 volumes. This kind of made me sad. Not gonna lie. Basically, like, this is a friends with fun time benefits, and they work together, and he ends up, so initially he's like, I don't want anything serious, I just need this like for funsies. And she was like, all right, cool, bro. I think she's a little bit older than him, and you know, they have their times, and then there's like this love triangle in the workplace with her and her other coworker, and then he ends up really falling for her. Why? Don't know, because she's kind of mean to him. I don't know. Um, but he ends up really like falling for her. And he like confesses his feelings towards her, and then she's like, nah, man. I might be misremembering. Oh my god. Spoilers. Oh my god. But it's a good series. Like there's other stuff in there. But yeah, it kind of bummed me out. But, you know, I guess I like being bummed out. So up next is Pet Shop of Horror. Horror. Yeah, Pet Shop of Horrors. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. This was one of those that I picked up based solely on the art cover. The cover art. The cover art. Because I do that sometimes. Again, I have two extremes. Either I've done the entire research into the series and I know exactly what's going to happen and I know how I'm going to like it. Or I look at it and I'm like, yep, you're coming home with me. And this came home with me that day. That day that I went and did massive damage to my wallet. But basically, this is a story of a pet shop in the depths of Chinatown. Where? Don't know. But in Chinatown. And you can find whatever type of animal you want. But at the same time, there's a mystery going on. And we don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening. They don't know what's happening. The world doesn't know what's happening. I'm not really sure about how long this series is. I didn't really look into it that much. Again, two extremes. Either you're coming home with me because I like the way you look, or I know exactly what you have to offer, and you're still coming home with me. But I'm excited. I hope it's gonna live up to the hype of the synopsis in the back. But I don't know. I'm excited to see where this goes, though. All right. Next is Yen Press. Now, this is one slowly collecting. Every time I want this, it's out of stock. Out of mother-loving stock. But this is Phantom Tales of the Night. This is volume 6. It's so pretty. It's so absolutely gorgeous. I really like this story, but because I can't seem to find the volumes, I just haven't been able to read it in its entirety, and it's just so annoying. But anyways, this is a story about this innkeeper right here, and he has an inn, and any wayward traveler that comes to him, he allows to stay at his inn. But you have to make a payment, and the payment is not regular money. Nay, it's not money. It's not nothing. It's a secret. It's a secret you have that he wants. Now, there is an overarching mystery to all of this. I haven't figured it out, but a lot of the volumes are very episodic. I think there's like 3 or 4 reoccurring characters, including the innkeeper. But very much everybody in his inn is a reoccurring character, and then there's one other reoccurring character. From what I remember, I do definitely, once I complete this series, I do have to go back and reread it. But it is very mysterious. It's giving, why is he collecting secrets? There is this overarching mystery of like the main character wanting to understand why he's collecting secrets. So I don't know where this is gonna go, but I definitely know that I'm gonna love it whenever I decide to finish it. Not even decide to finish it, whenever everybody else stops buying it. Or maybe it's just not me. I don't know. But I really want to finish this series. I think I'm missing like 3 volumes. I'm so bad. Anyways, next up is volume 3 of Hikaru. The Summer Hikaru. Volume 3 of The Summer Hikaru Dies. Now, I know the anime got really, really, really big. I'd rather read the manga, I'm not gonna lie. It looks gorgeous though. I think I'd read it first and then I'd watch the anime. But I'm excited to see where this goes. I don't know, but I feel like I'm really gonna like it. I feel like I'm really gonna like it. And I think that this is like finishing at like 15 volumes. I think I might be wrong, but these covers look so gorgeous. I am a sucker. I know a lot of people really love the, can you fucking focus, bro? There we go. There we go. I know people really love very vibrant, very like intricate covers, but I'm a sucker for a very simple cover. I love the fact that it's just like one character, very monochromatic. I love this. I love this idea. Yen Press, you did good. You did good. I am a sucker for simplicity sometimes. I really am. I also have volume 12 of Phantom Tales in the Night. My bad. But one step closer than I thought. Originally thought that I was gonna be at finishing this series. Anyways, next up is volume 3 and 10 of Sekire. This is my guilty pleasure. Not gonna lie. This is my guilty pleasure. I love this series. And I don't care how much fan service it is. I love this series. It's so fun. If you just want like a fun time with an interesting power system, love this series. I don't know. Well, it's been a very long time. I don't really hear much hate about it anymore. A lot of the times now I hear that it's a lot of people's like fun comfort anime. But I really liked this. At the time that it came out and it was getting some hate, I liked it. I loved it. But this series, there's like 3 volumes that is absolutely positively so expensive. I don't know if I will ever finish this series. I don't know if I will ever know the true ending of this story. Well, I mean, technically I do because I have the last volume, but the in-between parts, like, I think it's like volume 5, volume 7, they're like running at like $150 a volume. Must be joking me. You must be joking me. Not me. Not I. Not I said the fly, but one day I will finish this, or maybe I'll just read it online and I'll just slowly collect the manga when I can. But I really, really want to own the entire series, but it will probably take me forever and a day, sadly. And this is an honorary mention because I fucked up my volume. I was so mad. Because I was picking up a manga on the top shelf and I'm short and I yanked it and this fell and it fucked. It broke. It just crunched, destroyed like the middle part of the book. And I was so mad. I was so sad. But I did get it at a good deal. But this is another, maybe like, I wouldn't say this is ecchi. I would say this is very fan servicey. But I will say the ending of this series, I was thoroughly surprised. I watched the anime first and then I got into the manga, and the manga is a little bit darker than the anime, but I absolutely loved the way that this manga ended. Absolutely. If I'm being honest, maybe top 10 in manga endings for me. I was thoroughly surprised. I was very happy at the way that it ended, and I truly did not see the themes until I finished this manga series. I will not take any plunder or slander. I will not take plunder or slander. This is a good series. If you could get past some of the like fan servicey, I don't really think the manga is as fan servicey as the anime, but there's definitely its moments. But not any more than like a regular manga, like any other series. Like I feel like maybe like original Naruto had more like fan serving moments in the anime than this series. But I highly recommend. If you want a short series, it's very dystopian. It has a very interesting power system. I truly, truly recommend this series. It's like 10 volumes. 10 volumes in these like 2-in-1s. I highly recommend. Love this series. Thoroughly impressed with what the author did in this series. I love it. I will sing its praises. I will sing its mother-loving praises. So, don't get mad at me. I had to go do something, so cut that video short a little bit. It's a new day, it's a new me, and we're back with the manga haul. So this is going to be the Viz Media section of all of this. I did end up picking 2 more mangas, so you know, it threw off my groove because one of them was meant for the other part of the video, but it's okay. I'll still show you what it is at the end of the day, but it is what it is. Anyways, so next we have Marriage Toxin, volumes 4. Damn, it will not zoom in. There we go. And volume 5. Now, I will say that I am pleasantly surprised about this series because I didn't think I was going to like it. I ended up reading volumes 1, 2, 3 over here, and I like it. It's like a little bit comedic, it's like fun, it's like action packed, but it's like there is still like the romance part of all of this because this was me stepping out of my comfort zone yet again. But it was interesting. I liked it. I don't know how many times I don't know how long this story could possibly get pulled to, if that makes sense, because I think this series is meant to be like 20-ish volumes, but I don't know how long it could get pulled. But basically, this man right here, this man, he's trying to get married, right? And in this universe, there is a bunch of people who are experts in something. So he's a poison expert. He's an assassin, but he's a poison expert. And then one day he happens to meet this person here, and he is saving her from, I believe it was the mob or something like that. And then he ends up finding that this person is somebody who's dressed up as a woman, who is not necessarily a woman. But that's sort of how it starts, because at some point I think he's like falling for this person, and then he finds out. But the whole point of the series is that he's trying to get married. And he's trying to find somebody to like live the rest of his life with. And so this person ends up saying, oh, I will help you find somebody. And so this is their shenanigans, essentially, of like trying to get him dates, trying to get him like a fiance and stuff like that. So it's the shenanigans. And then if I remember correctly, there is a bigger plot, but I'm interested to see where it's going. I fear how long you could pull the story for this plot line, if that makes sense. I don't know. But so far I'm enjoying it. I'm going to continue to buy until I get bored. But yeah, volume 4 and 5 of Marriage Toxin. Next one is Kagurabachi. Now, I don't know why people memed the hell out of this. I don't know why. Like when I first saw the the cover art for volume 1, when it wasn't even announced, or it wasn't even the cover art, it was just like not a panel, it was just like an artwork of god, I forgot his name now, Chihiro. It was a cover art of Chihiro, and everybody was memeing it, and I'm like, it kind of looks kind of cool. Like the artwork is kind of gritty, and I'm here for it, and it has like the samurai-esque vibe, so I was here for it. And then when I picked up volume 1, I think I had volume 1 and 2 and 3. Randomly, I had ended up with those 3 volumes, and I really, really loved the story. It feels like this will end up being like somewhere down the line, this will end up being a shonen classic, and I wholeheartedly believe that with my entire chest, because this is it's a very good story. But if you don't know, this is the story about Chihiro, not him, I will never figure out this reflective, like, where's my right, where's my left. Basically it's a story about him trying to find out who murdered his father and took away it was seven enchanted blades. So, and then there's this 8th enchanted blade that is nobody really knows about because Chihiro has it. So there is more to the story. I don't know how to truly give a synopsis of the story without maybe putting in a spoiler, so I'm trying to stop from giving away too much, but I highly recommend this story. I really, really liked it, and I don't know if I want to just start reading it online, but I'm a tabber. I didn't read this, but I am a book tabber, and I can't do that on reading on the Viz app, so I have to unfortunately wait for the physical copies, but I can't anymore. But anyways, that's my own problem. But yeah, volume 5 Kagurabachi. I don't know where volume 6 is coming, but either way I will be excited to have it. a whole slew, because this is what I needed to complete JJK up until what I have, or what is currently released, right? So volume 11, mine got fucked up, so that's why I had to buy a new one. But 21, 22, 24, 25, 26, 27, and 23. I went out of order because I thought I had counted in order. But yeah, what else is there to say? This is JJK. For the longest time, when JJK was still, you know, having its run in Shonen Jump, I'm proud to say that I was on task. I was reading as it was coming out, and it'd been a very long time. I think the last time that I had been so up to date with a manga series was when Naruto and Bleach were running in Shonen Jump. But I was pretty up to date. I was up to date. And then the Shibuya arc happened, right? And I don't know what happened to me. I don't know if it was like I got carried away in some school stuff, but I just stopped. And then fucking it got away from me, and then I got stuck in the Shibuya arc. So this is me trying to go back. I will go back and reread the whole series because I feel like I would do a disservice if I just tried to read from the Shibuya arc again. I would do a disservice to the story. So I think I'm gonna go back and reread and do my whole situation with Jujutsu Kaisen because the new series came out. So I don't know if that's going to get a physical release. I'm kind of hoping it does because why wouldn't it? But either way, anyways, that's besides the fact. But yeah, so I'm going to try and reread Jujutsu Kaisen. Hopefully this year. Well, I don't know. Yeah, because the last 2 volumes are coming out this year or something like that. Okay. That's my own problem. Anyways, next up is After God. Volumes 3, 4, and 5. I love what I've read so far in this series, and I cannot wait to continue reading. And basically what has happened, I feel like if you are a Chainsaw Man fan, I think you would like this. I think this has very much the same art style, and I think it has very much the same sort of like some of the characters I think feel very similar to me, to Chainsaw Man. Especially the main character in this one feels a little bit like Denji, but not at the same time. But again, if you like Chainsaw Man, I feel like you'll like this series. But basically, in this series, Japan, shit has gone down in Japan, and there are these places called danger zones because the gods have come down to Japan, and there are these danger zones, and basically there are people like the amount of area that the gods have taken over in Japan has made it very much illivable in the other areas of Japan that people are able to live in. So there's a lot of like poverty and stuff like that going on. But basically, this guy who's a scientist for the government is checking up on one of these sites, and he finds this girl who's looking through the fence into the area where the gods are. And basically the lore is, or not the lore, I guess the reason why people can't see the gods is because what ends up happening is that you basically go into this what, how do you explain it? They become not paralyzed, I guess is the only way that I can think of explaining it right now, is they become overtaken by the god and they reach this level of euphoria, I guess. And then what ends up happening is that they disappear. And so this girl, the scientist finds this girl who is like looking into the area of the god, and he's confused. And there is a situation that happens between the scientist and the girl, and somebody who is working for the gods, because apparently they can enlist assistants to be doing things in the areas where they're not necessarily roaming. And there is like this whole like situation of how the girl has her own secrets and they're finding out about her and stuff like that. I don't remember the girl's name, but it is a very interesting story. I am very excited to continue reading. It is so pretty. Like the artwork is really gritty. I wonder if I can. I can't really find anything that's not going to be spoilers, but highly recommend. Highly, highly, highly recommend. Next up is how to read Death Note 13. I feel like as a Death Note fan, I just need to like have this in my collection to be complete. Yeah, I don't really know. Oh, this is just like a how-to book. Oh, I just bought it. I bought it solely because I was like, it has Death Note on it, and I don't own it. It's like a fuck. Oh my god. It's like the stuff, the guides that Naruto and One Piece and Bleach have. It's kind of like that. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, maybe I'll just delve into this and find out some stuff I didn't know about Death Note. But yeah, how to read Death Note 13. I do want the side story. I think there is a light novel and a side story. I will have to get that as well, but we'll get there when we get there. Next up is Mujina Into the Deep, Volume 3. I think there's supposed to be one more, and that's the end of this series. Very interesting. I think this is technically no. Girl on the Shore was my first Inyo Asano story, but this is I think my first series from him, and it's very interesting, very mature, very dark, very gritty, and I think now he's going to become one of my favorite artists, and one of my favorite authors. But very interesting. Basically, Mujina are people who give up their rights to become or to be regular people, you know, and they basically can run the city amok. They can do whatever the hell they want without any real like consequences. So basically, people will hire Mujina to do assassinations and stuff like that. And there's like the story of like this Mujina finding a found family essentially, and yeah, I'm interested to see how the rest of the story gets wrapped up in the next 2 volumes. So this one and the 4th volume, because I think it's only meant to be 4-volume series, which is kind of upsetting to me. But you know what? Hey, it is what it is. If you can do it in 4 volumes, do it in 4 volumes. So I'm excited. But yeah, I really liked this. Yeah. Now, because I said he might become my next favorite mangaka, I had to get Downfall. I don't know what Downfall is about, but I impulse bought. Yeah, I think I impulse bought, and it's a one shot, so I thought it would give me more of a feel for Inyo Asano's work. I know a lot of his stuff is very retrospective. Like I think this one is supposed to be about him talking, or him talking. It's meant to be a reflection of his life, so I'll be interested to see what this is going to do. I know it might make me a little bit sad, as will Goodnight Punpun and probably a lot of his other works, because Girl on the Shore definitely made me a little bit sad, but not a little bit. Yeah, it was a little bit depressing. It was a little bit depressing. But I could understand the sentiment behind the work, if that makes sense. I know a lot of people don't like Girl on the Shore, but I could understand the sentiment because I could understand it. But it was still depressing regardless. Next up, we have volumes 2. I think this is 2. Yes, this is volume 3 actually, sorry. Volume 3 and then volume 2 of Boy's Abyss. I don't know anything about the series, but the cover is very pretty. And I need volume 1 to start knowing what the series is about. But I see a oh, it's just this one. I see a spider lily, which is gonna make me feel really, really sad. I think when I bought this, I went to a used bookstore and the guy who was checking me out was like, "You're gonna be really sad," and I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "This is a really sad story," and I was like, "Maybe I need to be sad a little bit. Like maybe I do need to live it." Yeah, explicit content. I didn't see that. Maybe I'm meant to be sad this year, even more so than I already am, but I will find out what this is about. I feel like this is kind of up my alley, but that remains to be seen, and I'll let you know how I feel about it. Next, by Inyo Asano, Dead Demons, Destruction. Yeah. I think this is like a alien story from what I've heard from other people. Again, he might be my favorite mangaka of the year. But I'm interested to see how this goes. I only have the first volume, so we'll see where this goes. We'll see whether or not I want to pick up other volumes. I'm really sad that they didn't have 2 and 3 at this bookstore that I was at, but you know what? It was for a good deal, cheap, real cheap. It was $4, $4, and it's in like mint condition, which was crazy to me. I was like, oh my goodness, you're coming home with me. So I might not even want to read you, but you're coming home with me just because of how good of a deal you are. You know, when you do that, I think that's girl math issues, but you know, it is what it is. And again, by Inio Asano. Good night, Pun Pun. I also had I had a really good deal on this. I think retail, these run like 22 24 a pop, but these were like 14, and then this one was 9, so you can't tell me nothing. So volumes 2, 4, and 7. Now I need 3. I don't know where I'll find 3 for a good deal, but I will find 3 for a good deal. But again, I think this is also, I heard a lot of different perspectives on the story. One being that this is about Inyo Asano himself, or 2, it's meant to be a way for you to self-insert into the story. And you know what? Either way, I know I'm going to be depressed, but either way, I know that this is going to be probably one of the best reads that I will ever have once I read it. So I need to get 3 and 5. I think 3 and 5 are the only ones that I'm missing. So once I do that, I'm just going to do a full, just whole read, and then I will be sad, and then I will get through the day yet again. But I'm excited to do this read. This is going to be on my list of 26 for 26. You know what I mean? 26 books to read for 2026. I'm there. I will do it. I will manifest it. I will manifest for myself. Me, myself, and I. I will do it. Maybe. Sort of, kind of. I'll try. I'm going to be so sad. Anyways, this is something that I had picked up. It was meant to be part of the Kodancha one. This is Sayuki Volume 4. I thought I was wrong that I was going to find these hardcovers out in the wild. But I found one. And I will slowly but surely be picking these up. Look at that deal. Look at the deal. Again, I am not really sure what this series is about, but I am excited to get into it regardless. Because sometimes I just need to blind date with a book. That situation. I think I do it regardless of whether or not it is technically blind. I just sort of pick up. You know what I mean? It is blind without being blind. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's where I'm at. Anyways, next up is Volume 2 of Pluto. I am slowly picking up this series, and I'm upset at how slowly I am picking up this series. I want to read this so bad because Naoki Urasawa is my favorite mangaka. And it's taking me too long. I think I have 1, 2, and 3, and then a random 5. I'm missing so many, and I'm so upset. I need to hunker down and stop looking at the price and just straight up buy this series. It's so upsetting, but I really want to read this series. If you don't know what the series is, it's not befitting to say this, but this is basically a fanfic. This is a fanfic done absolutely correct. You know what I mean? This is fanfic done by the best author in the world. He is basically doing a story about the Astro Boy, right? Is it Astro Boy? Yes, Astro Boy, a new version based on Astro Boy, the greatest robot on Earth. And basically, there are these 7 robots who, I believe, if I remember correctly, there were 7 robots who had helped win a war. 7 greatest robots, and something is happening to them, and it's quintessential Naoki Urasawa. It is a mystery of what is happening, who is taking out these robots, and I'm sure there's a lot of underlying Naoki Urasawa like philosophical conversations about how humans and, artificial intelligence can live together and that sort of thing, and what is, the breaking point, and what is the line, what is humanity and what is artificial intelligence, and that sort of thing, and is artificial intelligence capable of living in a humane way, that sort of thing. I'm sure that conversation is going on in the background of all of this because it is Naoki Urasawa, but I am excited for the day that I get to read this. I am excited for the day. Next up is The Demon Prince of Momochi House. I don't know anything about this series. This is me stepping out of my comfort zone yet again. I believe this is a romance, right? This is a romance. This is not a battle shonen romance. No, this is just a straight up shoujo beat. I don't know how I'm going to feel about this. I picked it up because it had a very pretty cover. I think this is a new release, but this had a very pretty cover, and I was like, ooh, maybe this will be the day. This will be the day that I get sucked into the romance of it all. Again, which is crazy because I love romance, regular chapter books. Something about manga romance is just not for me, and I think it's because I feel a little cringy watching it. I think that's what my problem is. I get real cringed out watching and or seeing something happen. But if I'm creating the scenario in my head, it's a totally different situation. And I think that's what it is. I think I've cracked the code. I think that's what it is. Next up is Volume 5 of Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. I think this is the last one. I think either this is the last one or I'm missing one more of the quote-unquote canon Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff. I don't know how quote-unquote real that canon shit is, but you know what? I think this is the last one that I have to collect of 5Ds at least. I don't know whether or not I should continue on and collect the rest of the series because this is what I've collected up to. I know there's Arc, there's Arc 5, there's Brains, there's Sevens. I know I'm missing maybe one or two other series, but so far my goal was to collect the original Yu-Gi-Oh!, Duel Monsters, GX, and 5Ds because that's what I grew up with. So I don't know if I want to continue on just to be a completionist or if I just should stop where I'm at and be happy that I have the series that I do. But anyways, this is 5Ds Yu-Gi-Oh! I cannot wait. I read original Yu-Gi-Oh! I read Duel Monsters. I have not read Millennium World. Oh, that's also what I have. I've not read Millennium World, and I'm excited to because technically that is how it's supposed to end, not the crazy season 4 or 5 that we got in 4Kids. So, there's that. Anyways, next up is Black Torch, volumes 2, 3, 4, and 5. And, I feel like I've read different descriptions of this series. I know this is getting an anime, which is crazy because the series got canceled. So I don't know if the anime is going to go beyond what the manga has and it's going to become anime canon from there on, or what sort of situation the anime is going to be. I don't know. I didn't look that deep into it. I just saw the announcement for it and I was like, oh, interesting, for a canceled series. I don't know if I've ever known a canceled series to get an anime like that. I could be totally wrong, but off the top of my head, I don't remember one. But I don't know. Basically, I think it's this guy. He is from a family of assassins, and he can speak to animals. And there is a story beyond that. What that is, I don't know. I think I bought the volume 1 so long ago that I just forgot what the situation is. But there is, I don't know, these two are dancing. The other description that I read was something about the Oniwaban group, and I was like, oh, it's like, feels like Rurouni Kenshin. So I was like, oh, interesting. So I don't know. I think I've read too many descriptions of this story to really know what the story is about. and we're gonna see. This is only 5 volumes, so I have to finish this year. Otherwise, I will be pissed off with myself, and I will not be happy. Next up is Goku Rakugai, volumes 3 and volumes 4. Now, I was also very pleasantly surprised about this series because I have volumes 1 and volume 2. And for the longest time, I was not reading this series. I bought it and I was like, maybe I just bought it because the covers were nice. But then I was like, I made this purchase and I need to start being smart with my purchases. I need to get into this series. So I read it and I was thoroughly surprised. I am very interested in seeing where the series goes. And I really, so good. And it like, I can't really say it's a fantasy. Because, you know what, don't even listen to me. Because basically, right, these two people here, they run this situation where they are fixers, essentially. So if something is happening, they'll come fix it for you. But it's under the guise of being fixers that they're trying to take out these demons. And basically, think of every shonen story so far, you know what I mean, where the main character is like, they are the thing that they don't like sort of situation. Think of Naruto. Well, I guess at the beginning of the series, think of Eren Yeager. Think of Ichigo at the beginning of the series. Think of a plethora of shonen. Where the main character is the thing that they hate. Kaneki from Tokyo Ghouls, that sort of thing. But there's it's interesting because you don't know why the person is like that. And then there is like this mysterious sort of arching plot that is going on that is involving this girl. And so I'm very interesting. So far, it's the plot of mysteries involving this woman here who is taking care of this boy, and I don't know where it's going. And all I know is that I'm interested to find out. So I will be reading volume 3 and 4 ASAP as soon as I can. So yeah. Then we have Ayashimon. I feel like every time I see this series, I say it incorrectly, so I had to look at it before I said it. But this is unfortunately the canceled series by the author of Hell's Paradise. Yes. I have a volume 1. I bought it years ago when I thought the series was gonna last. I bought it years ago, and then come to find out it's only 3 volumes. So I was like, what the hey? What the hey? I just have to complete it and I gotta read it. But yeah, beyond the crime syndicate part of all of this, I do not remember what this is about. Forgive me. I feel like a lot of the times I don't know what's going on in the mangas that I buy, because I buy purely based either on impulse or on how pretty the cover looks. And they look gorgeous. You can't even tell me that they don't look pretty. But I hope the author does come out with some more stuff, because I really, really did enjoy Hell's Paradise, and I think I'm going to enjoy this, even though I know I'm going to be very saddened that there's only 3 volumes. Aw, damn. I didn't entirely ruin it for myself. I'm just really sad because it looks like it ended on a cliffhanger. God damn it. It's fine. It is what it is. And last but certainly not least is, oh god, Inuyasha in the Fizbigs. Now, I think, as much as I like these Fizbigs, I think, oh my god, my fingers. I feel like they deserve like a perfect edition. Not gonna lie. I feel like there is a few series that Shonen Jump has overlooked in giving the perfect edition treatment to. And I feel like because they have these going on, they're not going to do it. But I feel like they should. I feel like, Yu Yu Hakusho and, Yu-Gi-Oh! I feel like all those series sort of deserve a perfect edition. Because, number one, they're not printing the original Yu-Gi-Oh! They're not printing, OG Season 0 Yu-Gi-Oh! They're not printing Dual Monsters anymore. They're not printing GX that much anymore. I don't think I've ever seen GX in stores. Or 5Ds, as a matter of fact. I think it's all the, newer seasons that I'm seeing now. But I feel like some of these series deserve some perfect editions. You know what I mean? Like, these are Shonen Jump classics. You know what I mean? Especially like Yu Yu Hakusho. I'm surprised. Like, just give me a little something. Just give me a little something. But I'm slowly picking up Inuyasha. I read Inuyasha growing up. You know, like I think I was like, I think I was way too young to be reading Inuyasha. I think that's what it was. I think I was 9. Yeah, I think I was 9. I think I was 9 when I was reading Inuyasha because I used to watch it on TV, Cartoon Network, or sorry, Adult Swim. At that age, you know, nobody's checking in on me. And I was really into it, not knowing it was anime. And then I saw the book, and I was like, oh shit, it's a comic book. Because I was 9, I didn't know. And I had started collecting the singles when I was younger. I don't know who let me collect the singles, but somebody did let me collect the singles. But I feel it's been like a very long time. I think I fell off of Inuyasha somewhere in like 2006, like when the anime was running. I think it was like somewhere 2004, 2005, 2006 is when I fell out on Inuyasha. And I feel like this is a classic story that I grew up on, and I need to go back and fully experience the beauty that is Inuyasha, because I tried to watch Yashahime, and I really, here's the thing, right? Say what you want about Yashahime and the story. I don't think people were going to be happy regardless of how that series went. I think people would be only happy if we knew what happened after Kagome decided to stay. You know what I mean? I think that's the story. It's kind of like the Avatar. I'm going to go on a rant. It's kind of like the Avatar situation where people didn't want to see the new Korra, you know, series. They wanted to see what happened to Aang as an adult. I think that's sort of what happened in the Inuyasha thing, where they were like, oh, we wanted to just know what happened. This is purely my conjecture. But I feel like people overhated on Yashahime. Yes, there's a whole weird thing with Sashomaru and Rin. But I'm not gonna lie, I was there mainly for Moroha because Moroha was funny. Moroha was just a funnier version of Kagome in Inuyasha, and I loved that. I loved Moroha. But I think the story just didn't land. I think I've heard the manga is better, so I might read the manga. I bought the first one purely as a nostalgic thing, because I just wanted it because I loved Inuyasha so much. So maybe I'll pick up the manga. I don't know. But I have heard that the manga is better, even though Rumiko Takahashi is not the one who's writing it. But I have heard that the manga is a better... From everybody who critiques the anime so much, I've heard that the manga is better. So maybe I'll do that. But anyways, yeah, that's my manga haul. I think it's probably 60-ish volumes, but we're not done here. We're going to be moving over to my manga tracker, and I'm going to start ticking off the ones that I bought, because I don't want to be that girl and have to return manga volumes because I was stupid. And I looked at my list and it wasn't updated. Get you a list. Get you a list. I will say this, as somebody who has been, you know, the last 5 years, like, consistently collecting manga, but I have collected manga all throughout my life. Get you a list. Get you a list. Because you don't want to be that person. You don't want to be that. I'm trying to save you the embarrassment. You don't want to be that person. I don't care how small your collection is. In fact, I think I was doing it the most when my collection was so small. I was buying duplicates and triplicates and quadruple. Yes. I have indeed one time bought too many versions, and then I was just like, I'm not taking it back to the store, so I sold them off. But anyways, let's get into my tracker part of all of this, because I did promise that part. So let's get to that. Okay, I don't know if you can see what all is going on over here, but if you really want me to do like a video on all of this, I can do it. But this is my Notion. I created a page. Basically, it has all of my titles and stuff like that, and then I have a whole bunch of fields that I filled out based on the titles that I have. But yeah, it's basically just a rinse and repeat of everything. So I don't really do any specific special things for specific titles, but maybe one day, maybe I'll add that. But basically, I'm just going to go through all of this and get rid of the missing volumes column of the volumes that I have, if that makes sense. So this might be a sped up version of what I'm doing, and then we'll see if anybody really wants me to do this part. But there's that. This is a no real order because I'm not gonna go in order. Feels like I would be doing extra work if I try to go in some sort of order. Okay, so basically this is me creating a new page for a manga that I didn't originally have. So do the demon. Usually I'll do a whole like, you know, situation with this, but I'm not going to do that now. But if you ever want it, I can. Format paperback. This is singles. Genre. For right now, and then I'll go and look up the tags somewhere else. Demographic, shoujo publisher. Not started. Manga. I think this is currently serializing. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I will go back and change it. Usually, if I don't know how many volumes a series is, my safe bet is just to do 2, 3, and 4, and then I'll go back and see how many volumes the series is, and then I will add more. But that's for right now, and then we will come back to it. You see how many of Pluto I'm missing? So many. Unacceptable behavior. Sometimes what happens is I update in the moment of when I'm buying something. So that's why some of them feel a little bit off. Like Inuyasha, I had updated when I purchased volume 16 and 17. I updated it on my phone. This is also why I say do a tracker, because you can do it in real time on your phone. And it's so much nicer. It's so much nicer. It just keeps me so organized. And that wraps up all that. Yeah, I didn't really do too much with the tracker. I will have to go back and do sort of the nitty gritty stuff. But if you ever want to see that, let me know. I can do it. and maybe how to set up this Notion and stuff like that. It's really easy, so it's not too like you have to be all that techy or anything like that. Again, it really does help when you track your manga. Everybody might not be like me. Everybody might not be as forgetful as me, but just in general, to see how your collection is going and to see all the series that you have and to see all the volumes that you're missing or all the volumes you have or however you want to slice it and dice it in your own like tracker, I think it's very helpful to have one. It just helps. It helps a lot. Again, I say that as somebody who's been collecting for like the last 5 years and practically my entire life, even though I have nothing to show for the other part of my life. But yeah, anyways, so thank you for watching this manga haul and me trying to do my manga tracker as well. But yeah, if you like this, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know how you keep track of your manga. Let me know what manga series you're picking up this year. Let me know if anything that I have interests you, and just let me know. Let's talk. I love talking about manga and anime, so just let me know. That being said, you can be back here for more manga and reaction content. Here, don't really know what days because I'm very inconsistent. This year is not a new year or a new me, but I will try to be more consistent in my posting and I will let people know. But anyways, bye! Also, don't forget to watch this playlist right here, and don't forget to watch this video that YouTube thinks that you're gonna like. Bye!